now listening to INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio.
So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone joining us on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. And I'm Senley Grace Medina from Ireland. And right now is Sunday, the 8th of June, 2025. And thank you once again for everyone joining us today and spending a little bit of your Sunday afternoon with us here on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, Substation Ireland, and I'll be your main host for this afternoon. And there's so many things that we'd like to bring to you, all of those who are tuning in to us here on INC Radio via YouTube or on our website. So again, thank you so much, and we welcome you warmly for our topic discussion for this afternoon, which will be all about creating balance in our day, in your day. So there is so much stuff that we want to unpack and we'd like to bring to you. And also later on, towards the end of our program, we will be discussing one of the activities that we've conducted here in the District of Ireland, called CFO Cares, or Christian Family Organization Cares activity, which was just conducted in the past week. So we'll bring that to you in a little bit. But once again, as I've mentioned, we will be talking about our topic discussion, which is creating balance in your day. And we know that this is such a hard thing to do for all of us. There's so many things going on in our lives, in our day, that sometimes finding a balance seems like so far-fetched, so elusive, right? So let's unpack that together. And I encourage everyone joining us live on YouTube. So please jot in, comment your answers, even your greetings, and we'll read that out loud during our program. So yes, say hello to everyone that you know. Say hello to your friends, your family, and we'll read that out loud live during our show. And now we are going to proceed with our topic discussion, but we'll do a quick time check. It's actually just 3 minutes past 5 o'clock here in the region of Ireland and the United Kingdom as well. And again, it's the 8th of June, 2025. And as I've mentioned, creating balance in our lives, it's such a hard thing to do. There is so many things that we're trying to accomplish in our personal lives, in our careers, in our relationships, our families. So we know that even that phrase, creating balance, it's such a hard thing to do. And we know many people struggle to create balance in their lives. And we know that even the task of creating balance already creates or stirs a little bit of anxiety, maybe, or even a little bit of stress already in our heads. And we know that, and there's so many studies that have been conducted already, that stress is the main cause, leading cause of a lot of mental health issues. And we know that regular or chronic feeling of being stressed affects us mentally and also physically as well. It manifests in our bodies. So that's why we know that the stress that goes along creating balance in our lives, it affects us mentally and us physically as well. That's why we feel like in INC Radio United Kingdom, we feel like a topic like this is very timely, because we could all benefit from trying to create some sort of rhythm in our lives, so we could navigate it a little bit better with less of a stress, less of feeling anxious all of the time. So do join along, and let's discuss this together in our show here today. So now, before we go dive in straight into our topic discussion, let's define the word balance first. So we know that in the context of our lives, in our daily lives, we constantly think that balance is about achieving perfection. Um, for me, I think that although it's not something that I aim for, it's something that I hope I achieve. But balance, it's not all about creating perfection, but finding a rhythm that works. And there are so many scientific definitions of balance, but one of the definitions that came to my head while we were putting together this topic discussion was achieving balance is involving a lot of things like integrating our careers, our work, our personal activities, whatever that is, our hobbies, and self-care, or taking care of ourselves into a more cohesive, more put together kind of a routine. So for us, we know that balance means putting all of those things in some kind of routine in equal measures. And I believe that that creates kind of like the stress in our lives and creates anxiety in our lives, because for me, I really do feel like my main misconception about balance is making sure that all of those things that I've mentioned, integrating our work, our careers, or our plans for our careers, our personal activities, personal hobbies, and stuff like that, and self care, um, into like a routine with equal time allocated to them. For me, I thought was that's creating balance, but creating balance for us to integrate it a little bit better in our lives is integrating it um, in not in equal amounts, but just integrating it. The act of integrating all of those elements in our lives is already a balance. Is already an act of balance. And I want to see some of our listeners and our viewers um, and what they think balance is in their lives, in what they think their definition of balance in their lives, in their day, creating balance in their daily lives. And before we continue on and discuss a little bit further our topic discussion, I'd like to say hello to those already commenting on our live chat. And there's so many of them already. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I know there's so many things happening in the districts of Ireland, Britain North, and Britain South, and we really do appreciate your time, spending a little bit of your time with us. And there's so many people greeting already. I'd like to say hello to Erica there. Greetings from hashtag Heathrow. And again, thank you so much, Heathrow congregation, for always commenting and greeting us and joining us on our live broadcast always on a Sunday. Thank you so much. And there is also a comment from Brother Jefferson Jones. Happy Sunday and happy viewing, everyone. Greetings from hashtag Manchester, Britain North. Hello to those watching us in Manchester and to everyone tuning in and joining us during our topic discussion. And there's also Ate Cheryl, our sister Cheryl. Hello, Sen. Have a great show. Thank you so much, Sister Cheryl and Ate Cheryl. And also Brother Ivan Kiloy from Portsmouth, Britain South. Like to say hello to our brother just there. And there's so many more. I'd like to read them out a little bit better as the program progresses. But we'll keep keep that um keep that there for a moment. But we'll go back to all of our listeners and our viewers, and we'll greet more of them later. But also, I've just seen that there, our brother Seth Hebrew. Greetings po to our brethren from hashtag Heathrow. Thank you so much, brother Seth, for joining us and adding in your comment in our live chat. Thank you so much again for campaigning for our show, as always. And yes, let's go back to our topic discussion this afternoon. So again, creating balance, as just defined it a couple of moments ago, is all about integrating all of those elements, not in equal measures or in equal amounts, but the act of integrating them itself is already some sort of a balance. Now, let's proceed to our questions that I'll be bringing out, not only for myself but also to those who are tuning in on the live chat on YouTube. So please answer along as I answer along too, so we could give each other's insights about our topic discussion this afternoon. And as I mentioned, our topic discussion is all about creating balance in our day. So let's proceed to the first question that we have. So, firstly, before I dive into the first question that we have just there, I want to ask all of our listeners and our viewers, how are you feeling right now? What is the current state of your emotions, of your feelings right now? I know as I mentioned in the beginning of our show, right? When we talked about creating balance, we already feel a slight anxiety, like we don't know how we're going to tackle our day. So there's a slight anxiety already. Maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. You look back on your day, like today, and you think that you haven't accomplished anything, or maybe you feel a little bit rushed, or you feel like you're not ticking enough boxes in your to-do list, or yes, I want to mention this as well. Maybe you're feeling really burnt out or exhausted. It's a normal feeling for everyone. I'd like to ask our listeners and our viewers, how are you currently feeling right now? Um, are you feeling confident? Are you feeling accomplished, especially on a day like today, Sunday? Most of the people normally work Monday to Friday, and Sunday is the rest day. Have you accomplished everything that you need to do to prepare yourself for another week of work? Have you accomplished everything that you need to do for your home, for your family, for your relationships? And also, have you accomplished things that you need to do for your church life? Like for us, members of the Church of Christ, we know that we prioritize our work, our duties. Do you feel like you've accomplished that so far? So I'd like to ask everybody joining us, how are you feeling right now? So while you're thinking about that and maybe typing along, I'd like to ask you another question. So this is the question that we have for all of us. So please answer along as well. So the first question that we have for all of us today: what does a balanced day look like for you, and how often do you achieve it? So, along with your feeling right now, please keep in mind the first question that we have there. What does a balanced day look like for you? I know it's a very like individual question, so I do hope that everybody's typing along and answering that question. And also, how often do you feel accomplished, and how often do you how often do you achieve that feeling or a balanced day for you? So for our listeners and our viewers, let me give you kind of like a preview of how a balanced day looks like for me. So just kind of like a quick overview of my day. My background is like professional background is I'm a chef. I'm a corporate catering chef. So my day is not like the typical day of those who work in the restaurant or the hospitality industry. So my day is very like my schedule is very set. It's from Monday to Friday. But unlike those who work in the hospitality or restaurant industry, it starts very early. So usually on a corporate catering schedule, it usually starts like half six, 6 o'clock, or 7 in the morning. So it's very early starts from Monday to Friday. So my balance day for me looks like achieving all of my uh, tasks really early on. How I tackle and how I feel balance for the day is when I fully look after all of the paperwork early on in the morning, because it's one of the things that I don't particularly enjoy. So I get that out of the way, and as soon as I get that out of the way, I feel already accomplished. So like even the beginning of my day, when all of my admin work has been done, I feel balanced already. So and then all of the usual things that goes on in a professional kitchen, like I'll do my prep work, the service for lunch, for breakfast, looking after our clients for the breakfast and lunch service. As long as everything flows smoothly, I feel like my day is balanced. And as I clock out and spend my time at home here and do a little bit of work at home with my family, help out a little bit in the house chores, kind of balance things out. And then also towards the end of my day, usually at nighttime, uh, I proceed to my other tasks for the church. So that usually involves meetings for my congregation, for my local congregation, and yes, a lot of online meetings. So whenever I get to attend all of those meetings and tick those boxes, I feel very accomplished. And a lot of the times, most of the time throughout the week, I feel like I achieve it. But there are times when I feel like I'm failing behind. I feel like there are things that I didn't do in the beginning of my day, and it has kind of like a domino effect on the rest of my day. So I really do feel like I fall into that kind of um, not balanced day. I could really check myself when I feel a bit more irritable. I don't know if that happens to anyone, when you feel a little bit more irritable, or like you feel a bit sluggish, not really completely lazy, but you feel like unproductive. And although you've done all your tasks throughout the day, you feel like you haven't accomplished anything. And like it's very hard to admit this, but there are often times that I feel like I procrastinated too. Like I could have delegated some of my time doing more productive things. So, and also a lot of the times when I feel like I fall into that time that I feel really unbalanced is when I feel disorganized. Um, and the ultimate uh, check for myself that I feel like I'm really unbalanced, my day is completely kind of like derailed, that feeling is when I don't have time for self-care. I feel like I've rushed through my normal routine plus neglected the kind of main ones that make me feel a bit more happy. So like those are the things that I know my day is a bit off. And I want to see some of our listeners and our viewers if they felt the same way. If there are days that they feel like they're a bit like their days a bit not their usual day, maybe unbalanced, but maybe could be better. Um let me see our viewers. Most of our listeners and our viewers are just joining in to greet us. There's so many of them. Let me just read them out before I continue on with our topic discussion. So there are brethren, our brother Eric Carigma, happy viewing po to all. Hashtag Southampton, hashtag Bournemouth, hashtag Portsmouth, hashtag Salisbury group worship service. And then we also have Sister Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. Happy viewing po. There's so many um, also giving their greetings to their family. So this is Michael Bautista. Shout out to my family. Sister Marilyn Bautista and Sister Megan Bautista. Hashtag Heathrow. And there is also Sister Christina Hebrew. Happy birthday po to the most loyal INC Radio supporter, Kalani King from hashtag Heathrow. Hello, Sister Lani. Thank you so much. You're always supporting INC Radio United Kingdom. We do really appreciate all of your support every Sunday. And you're our most loyal INC Radio supporter. And we should really give you an award, really. When we get a chance, we will give you an award. You're always our number one supporter, and happy birthday. Is that yes? Happy birthday to you, Sister Lani. Yes. Most of our listeners and our viewers are just waiting to give their greetings, but again, as usual, please join in during our topic discussion because we'd like to hear from you. How does your day feel balance, how often do you feel like your day is balanced throughout your day? Do you feel like there's certain tasks that you tick off first, and you know that your day's gonna flow so smoothly and everything's gonna work out well? And how often do you feel um, balance and all your tasks have been tick off your to-do list? I'd like to hear from our viewers and our listeners, even just via the live chat. We really do appreciate your comments or your inputs, and so please join in and add your inputs all throughout our program. Now let's go back to our questions that we have for our topic discussion. So as I've mentioned, we the first question that we have is, what does a balanced day look like for you, and how often do you achieve it? And um, as I've mentioned, most of the time I really achieve it, but I could tell within myself that there are days that I feel a bit off when those things that I've mentioned crop up, and I could flag that within myself, and it's not a very pleasant feeling when you know that there's a little bit of irritability because your day didn't go as planned. And there is a lot of studies done on how high levels of work stress are in a like interlinked to increased rates of burnout and physical exhaustion. We know that already. So even putting so much pressure on ourselves in our work life creates a little bit of stress unbalancedness already. So now let's proceed to the second question that we have for all of us tuning in. So how do your morning habits impact the rest of your day? So I want our listeners, our viewers, those who are tuning in, even in your mind, answer along to whether how your morning impacts, or your morning routine sets the tone for the rest of your day, or how your morning routine sets the tone for balance, or um, chaos throughout your day. And as I've mentioned, for me, because my day starts really early, getting um the task that I don't particularly like out of the way first. um if that I could get that right every single day, I feel very accomplished already. And being a person of I think a creature of habit is the term. Being a creature of habit, I feel like if my day doesn't start with me looking after my paperwork at work or my admin task, I feel like my day is not going so well. And maybe it's something that we need to work on, right? We shouldn't be setting the balance on the one task uh, of the day. We need to remember that we should be more adaptable, right? So now, again, I'd like to pose this question to everyone. How does your morning habits impact the rest of your day? Um, yes, for me, if I haven't done that one main thing that I don't really like to do, it really impacts me throughout the day, which I really don't want to admit, but knowing how I work professionally, like I'd like to like my routine helps me tick all the boxes and feel efficient in doing my work, especially my professional work. And uh, as we point the question out to everyone, um, uh, another thing that I'd like to ask everyone is, how do you manage your time, and how do you prioritize tasks? Do you use a planner? Do you use those online planner, or do you have like other digital tools that help you kind of manage your time, put your priority list together? And how does it help you? And how does it help you feel lift the feeling of being overwhelmed. There is another a scientific study that um, time blocking or even prioritizing your tasks into a list, into kind of like even jotting it down on paper, um, significantly reduces the feeling of feeling overwhelmed or feeling that there's so much to take on. That's why it's really recommended to adapt some sort of like a list, using a planner, a digital planner, or any kind of digital tool that will help us to kind of uh, put segregate time and segregate our tasks into an orderly manner. And even just that simple task will alleviate the feeling of thinking that all of the things that we're doing is such a big task. Just putting that down on a list breaks it down into a more smaller, manageable way, right? And speaking of doing things with more manageable time and in some sort of a list, I'd like to also point out that even allocating time or segregating our tasks, like that's one of the ways that we create kind of some sort of a boundary, right? Like, so if we segregated time for, let's say, time for some things that we still have to accomplish for work, we segregate, let's say, 15 minutes um, when we get home, and finally just kind of um, do 15 more minutes to accomplish those tasks and put that aside. um, it will alleviate that feeling that you have so much still to do for work. And uh, like limiting those things into 10-minute blocks um, creates a boundary. So then we could proceed and do another task that we have, like that could be a task for our family, our relationships. So creating kind of like some sort of a boundary will help us tackle the rest of the tasks that we have and create some sort of like a harmony with in our personal lives, in our day, right? And now also, um, I'd like to point out as well that along with all of those tools that we have for ourselves to manage our time, to manage our daily tasks, our to-do list, sometimes we often forget the power of taking a break. I know that this is one of the things that I keep reminding myself, that even taking a short break for me, not doing anything, not doom scrolling, I think that's the term right now, is just like using your phone quite a lot and just like aimlessly scrolling for on social media. um not even doing that, just completely taking a break, maybe having a coffee break, a tea break, or even a break playing like with my dog, with playing with your family, or he like even having like a short chat with a friend, with a family member, or even the simplest task of going for a quick walk, 5-minute walk around the block, or completely just unplugging from our social media, our gadgets, our phone, really helps kind of center us on what else we need to do for our day. Like, it's I know it's not so easy to say just take a break, but it's something that we need to prioritize too. Like, along with us prioritizing all of our tasks throughout the day, we need to also prioritize breaks for ourselves. So break, maybe like taking a nap. I'm in the middle of kind of testing out. I don't know if our listeners and our viewers have heard of it. I think it's like what is it called? Like army nap, like a 10-minute nap. And they said that if you limit it to a 10-minute and then 10 minutes, and then have your legs up, leaning on a wall and closing your eyes for that 10 solid minutes, it recenters you and revitalizes you. I don't know if any of our listeners and our viewers have heard of that. If so, please, um, please let me know if you've heard of that kind of a nap, and let me know if it works for you, because I've tried it and I don't think it works for me. But let me see. Uh, Brother Marfel Serena said coffee break. Yes, that's true. For me, the way that I break up my day, and then I break up my day to make sure I cover all of my tasks, is by doing several coffee breaks, not only at work but also here at home when I'm doing a lot of things around the house. So I always try and have a coffee break or a quick chocolate break. I don't know if people do chocolate breaks too, or a sweetie break. I do that quite a lot. Yes. um, Prioritizing short, quick breaks throughout the day is also something that we need to take into account, along with our time management for all of our daily tasks, to feel balanced throughout the day. We need to make sure that we also take breaks, right? And while I'm in the process of taking a little bit of break, I want to read out a couple more um, shout outs from our live chat. Actually, let me see. Brother Jefferson Jones actually said, I begin my day with panata, or for those who don't know, panata is devotional prayer. And that's something that we in the Church of Christ are reminded to do, to conduct our devotional prayer to our Almighty God. He said, then fulfilling my duties and chat on video with my fiance, Sister Alicia Martin, in Kalit, Lingayen, Pangasinan, then I am balanced. Thank you so much, Brother Jefferson Jones, for giving your input. And yes, that's his individual way of feeling balanced throughout his day, is by conducting his devotional prayer and fulfilling his duties in the church. He said that after all those and then chatting with his fiance, he feels like his day is well rounded and balanced. Let me see. Let me just read out one more. Brother Seth Hebrew, actually, I want to read out his one. We start the day by praying. Yes, it's the best way to start the day. I forgot to mention that during my own kind of input. I usually start the day with a prayer. Um, uh, Even after like after waking up, and even before I go to work, is always starting it off with a prayer. So as Brother Seth has mentioned, he we start the day by praying, meditation, exercise, and watering plants in hashtag Heathrow. I kind of like the rain recently. Thank you so much, Brother Seth, for your own input as well. So that's how Brother Seth feels balanced throughout his day, for his family's day, is by praying first, and then doing things for him, for his family, is prayer, exercise, and watering plants. And I'm sure there are a lot, like brother said as well, they are really into like their plants and looking after the plants, and it helps them feel balanced throughout the day. And we'll go to a couple more. um let me see. Maybe we'll go and read out a couple more later on, but let's go back to our topic discussion before it gets we got derailed again. And we let's go to the third question that we have for all of us tuning in on INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. And again, let me remind everyone, our topic discussion for this afternoon is creating balance in our day, in your day. So, as I mentioned, even breaks, the power of breaks, regular breaks really help us feel recentered, refocused. And as some of our brothers have mentioned, praying first really centers their day and keeps them balanced, feeling balanced throughout their day. Let us just go through um, our third question, which is, um, what strategies help you manage stress and protect your mental energy. And as I mentioned, there are so many things that we could adapt in our lives, right? That could equip us, or strategies, or even tools that could help us strategize how we feel balanced throughout our day. As I mentioned, we could adapt digital planners, or even like physical planners, the notebook type planners, and also like allocating time in our planners and doing a to-do list. What about our listeners and our viewers? What are your strategies for helping manage and protect your mental energy, um, by conducting a to-do list? What are your strategies? I do hope that everybody's trotting along and typing along. But as um, we give time for those who are putting in their answers and putting their input, let's go and proceed to the next part of our question. Um, how do you create boundaries between work and personal time, especially in a busy or connected world? I know that I've mentioned a little bit of this um, during our second question, I believe, um, where I've mentioned that even segregating your to-do list, putting a time limit, creates boundaries for us to not spill into the next task, and we feel like we're chasing along lost time, or chasing our to-do list. Um, how are you? What are How do you create boundaries? That's the question. How do you create boundaries between work, personal time, especially now that we're so busy? We're also well connected on the internet, on social media. How do you limit yourself, or even create boundaries for you, for your work? Especially, there are a lot of our listeners and our viewers who maybe have their um, own work phones, and that they have to bring along even when they're home. How do you kind of like stop that and recenter your time for yourself, for your family? How do you create those boundaries? Do you have a time limit? Let's say for those who are in the corporate schedules, do you limit it like at 5 o'clock, you switch off your work phone, or your work email goes straight into kind of like a generated message? So those who are emailing you know that you've finished work already, and you're going to answer their emails when you go back to the office. How do you create those boundaries in your own work life, your personal life, and so that you could feel a bit more balanced to um, uh, tackle the other parts of your life, your family life, your life with your friends, and your life in church? So I think I've mentioned a little bit of my answer in the beginning of our segment. So I won't try and repeat myself, but I'll try and look at our live chat if there are any of our audience, our listeners and our viewers who have answered along during our program. Brother Ivan de Lompines is just there. He commented, I use do not disturb mode on my phone when outside of work or school. Yes, that's a very smart like move, when you're just switching it off to do not disturb. I feel like most of the people, when they see that on their notification right next to somebody they're about to contact, they're very respectful. And also, it's a good way of setting a boundary for yourself and for those that maybe would like to contact you. And then there is another one from Brother Michael Bautista: having a daily routine and proper scheduling of things to accomplish will save a lot of our time during a busy day ahead. So, yes, planning ahead, especially on weeks or days that you're going to be slammed with, not only with tasks for work, but also in your personal life. You know that there's going to be so many things, one after the other. It's better to have like a proper scheduling of things, and daily routine. Having a daily routine with a little bit of like a wriggle. wriggle room helps you really stay focused and help you kind of move along, even if you don't fully accomplish some of the things. And as I mentioned, creating balance in our life does not mean that we have to be perfect about it and we have to segregate equal amounts of time. Like even just partially doing something, we need to remember that's a task partially done already. We've done a little bit of our task already. So don't feel so bad about having a partially done kind of task. Um, let's remember it's better to have like gradually do it than completely feeling like that you have to do it all at the one go. So even doing something in small increments will help us feel balanced. And let's remember not to aim for total perfection, but just setting up a more regular routine for things to be accomplished. And now, like actually we don't have any more of our viewers and our listeners to drop in their own comments and answers, but we'll go on a quick station break. But don't be afraid, we're still gonna be here on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, but we'll just gonna go on a quick closing segment for this topic discussion. And I do hope that everyone took in a little bit of a good insight for us to be a bit better in creating a more balanced day in our lives, right? So balance does not mean doing everything. It means doing what matters most with presence and purpose. Start small, stay mindful, and remember, even a few intentional moments can shift your whole day. And as members of the Church of Christ, we always, we always we always are reminded that for us to really feel accomplished, we need to remember to always trust our Almighty God through prayers. So starting our day with a prayer means that we're fully relying on our Almighty God to help us, to uphold us, to allow us to complete all the tasks that we have ahead. And uh, having a moment to pray shows our Almighty God that we completely trust in Him, that we rely on Him and not on our own abilities and capabilities, but on Him completely. So that brings us to the end of our segment. And as I mentioned, it's not the end of our program just yet. We will just go on a quick station break. So please continue to tune in on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, and we'll bring to you an Iglesia Ni Cristo original music video called In Our New Home. So please continue to tune in and enjoy this little musical station break, and we will back with you shortly in a couple of moments. See you later.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ, or Iglesia Ni Cristo. Forever INC.
It doesn't take something big to show love. The right and thoughtful choices made with care can make a parent smile and turn an ordinary day into something special.
Dishes done, floors clean, a surprise mom and dad when they get here.
Wow! Hello, son.
Mom, you're early.
The house looks great.
Plus, I'm done with my assignments.
Oh, really? Oh. You always do your chores without being told. We see your effort, Carl, and we're proud of you. Here, we got you something.
What? How'd you know I want this? Thank you.
A child who brings joy to their parents is blessed even without asking. In the same way, when we live to please God, He gives us more than we could ever hope for. A reminder from Made in Australia, brought to you by INCRadio Australia Satellite Studio.
It has long been foretold, it has been prophesied, that in these last days there will be grave hardships and strife. Let not our hearts be troubled nor afraid, for we are the true nation of God. True to His promises, our Father above constantly blesses His children with His infinite love. Let not our hearts be worried nor dismayed, instead have unwavering faith that in our new home, in the new heaven and earth, we will dwell evermore in the presence of God. In our new home, there'll be no hunger or tears, we will gain the everlasting life. So while we know life on earth will be hard, we also know this will strengthen our faith and our hearts. And when our race upon this world is won, then all together we'll be brought back to our new home. In the new heaven and earth, we will dwell evermore in the presence of God. In our new home, there'll be no hunger or tears, we will gain the everlasting in our new home, in the new heaven and earth, we'll dwell evermore in the presence of God. In our new home, that we no longer tears, but then the everlasting life. In our new home, in our new home, in our new home, in our new home.
And we're back on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, and it's almost 10 minutes to 6 o'clock here in Ireland and also in the United Kingdom. And again, you've just witnessed and you were listening to an Iglesia Ni Cristo original music called In Our New Home. And I do hope that you were enjoying it, enjoying it and singing along during that musical break. I was doing that behind the scenes. But yes, thank you so much for joining us this Sunday afternoon or evening almost. And you enjoyed and took a little bit of insight into our topic discussion this afternoon, which was all about creating balance in your life, in our life. Now we proceed to the next part of our program, which will be all about the CFO in Action segment, wherein we talk about recently conducted activities in the districts of Britain North, Britain South, and in the District of Ireland. And today we'll be discussing one of the activities here in Ireland that we've just conducted. And I believe it's being conducted all throughout the districts of Britain North and Britain South. And for us in Ireland, we've just conducted our CFO, our Christian Family Organization Cares activity. So CFO Cares activity recently, and we are going to show you a couple of photos that we have there. So as you can see, as the photos play just there on your screens, the District of Ireland conducted our very own Christian Family Organization Cares activity this past week. So as you can see there, everyone, all of the CFO organizations, so Christian family organizations, have gathered together to be involved, to take part in this activity. So there are so many local congregations and group worship service that got involved for this activity. And you'll see that in your screens and in your screens just there. Our district supervising minister, Brother Pepito Acuesta, hello po, Brother Peping, joined us and led this activity, which we are so thankful for the church administration for allowing us to conduct this activity. And there is a lot of very happy, very energetic feeling all throughout the day. Everyone was so happy to be involved, to be part of this activity. And we congratulate all of the local congregations that were involved and brought along those people that we really do needed our care, those who are less fortunate in our community. And everyone put in the work, not only in bringing together supplies, but also putting some time aside to be part of this activity. And we congratulate the District of Ireland and all of the local congregations involved. And this activity was conducted in the local congregation of Portlaoise in the venue of their worship service. And they were the ones that were tasked to lead this activity. And we are so thankful unto them to lead this and help put this all together. And as I mentioned, we thank our church administration for thinking about activities like this, wherein we are united once again as brothers and sisters in the faith, but also united by looking after the fortunate people in our community. And we know that there's so many more activities like this happening all around the world, and especially in our this part of our region, in the districts of Britain North and Britain South, and also in Ireland. There's gonna be a lot more activities like this that will be reported to you, not only here on INC Radio United Kingdom, but also in different social media platforms in the church. So please always tune in so you could see more details about the other CFO Cares activity that were conducted by different local congregations. And I believe I was reading out some comments that were just there. The CFO Cares activity in Battersea was just conducted today, or while our live show is happening. And we'd like to congratulate all of the brethren, all of the people involved in this activity. Would like to congratulate them so to put together this activity. And I know there are so many people that will benefit from activities like this. So again, congratulations to the local congregation of Battersea for leading this CFO Cares activity in the region. And we know there's a lot more that will be reporting to you via our CFO in Action segment. So please continue to tune in on INC Radio United Kingdom so you can see all of the photos, all of the videos that were taken during those activities, and we could review them so you could see people, familiar faces that were involved in those activities. And that brings us to the very end of our show, and we do hope that you've enjoyed our program. But firstly, before we end our program this afternoon, we would like to provide our greetings for for our executive minister. Once again, we'd like to say hello and greet our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and also our deputy executive minister, Brother Angelo Eranio V. Manalo. Hello po, and we do hope that you're well po. And we would also like to say hello to Brother Wally Taray, our station manager, and Brother Montrevel Boy, our INC Media Production Section Chief. I would like to say hello to you as well po. And we'd also like to extend our warm greetings and our warm hellos to our district supervising ministers of the District of Britain South, Britain North, and Ireland. So the District Supervising Minister of Britain South is Brother Harley Alcantara. Hello po, Brother Harley. And to the District Supervising Minister of Britain North, Brother Anthony Peña. Hello po, Brother Anthony. And also to our very own Brother Pepito Acuesta, our District Supervising Minister for the District of Ireland. And along with that, we would like to say also hello to the rest of the ministers and workers in the districts of Britain South, Britain North, and Ireland. And so many of our ministers in Britain South took their time to give their live comments all throughout the show. And as usual, we really appreciate taking putting aside a little bit of your time for us here at INC Radio. And thank you so much. And all of our number one supporters on INC Radio United Kingdom, we really do appreciate all of your input, all of your comments. There's so many of you, and we couldn't mention all of your names before going over time, but we have to cut it short, I'm afraid. So yes, that's the end of our program. But don't be afraid. You can continue to enjoy our show today and continue to tune in on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, and you could quickly rewatch our show if you like. And please continue to keep on watching and listening to INC Radio via live audio and video streaming at our iglesianicristo.net/INC Radio. And also you could also listen and watch us live via audio streaming through our mobile phones by downloading the INC Radio app. And don't be afraid, you could rewatch any of our shows by typing in INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio and clicking on any of our show dates live right now. And please don't forget to visit CEBSI Incorporated on Meta, IG, and X regarding church events that's happening all around the world. And from all of us here on INC Radio United Kingdom, and from me, Assembly Grace Medina from Ireland, that's the end of our program. And that's it from INC Radio UK. Goodbye and see you next week. Bye.